When extending an agent's capabilities right now, a lot of people are going towards MCP servers or model context protocol servers, which is crazy because it's happening a lot in production and in enterprise environments, and it's not even a year old. It will be a year old November 25th. All right, so same month, but we're not at a year just yet. And there are a lot of MCP servers being created for everything from Kubernetes to GitHub to various other tools that have nothing to do with cloud native, just to extend agent capabilities. But what does it look like underneath the hood? And that's what I want to show today. So this is an MCP server that I created in Python. And what you can see here is there are already third-party libraries that exist for MCP servers. So for example, this one's using fast MCP. For myself, I'm just using the MCP server library. I'm not using fast MCP. Now, when we look at this configuration, we'll see a couple of pieces here. We'll of course see our source folder, our init folder, that way it can be turned into a package, and then our server.py. We'll also see a pyproject.toml, which this is going to help us with any dependencies that are needed, and then to implement a little bit of information about the project itself. So let me close out of this pane here and start working through some of this code base. Now, for myself, I built this MCP server specifically to help me with cloud native architecture diagrams. So you're going to see a lot of diagram libraries in here for Kubernetes and AWS and GCP. But really what we want to focus on is the libraries that are needed for MCP itself, which we can see right here. Okay. And now scrolling down here a little bit, we create an MCP server instance, and then some parch configurations here for string formats. And then as we go down here, notice we're calling a decorator, okay? And this decorator is coming from the server library, or rather the server function from the mcp.server library. Now, as we can see here, it's calling the list tools method, okay? And what this is gonna do is, this is going to give us the ability to list the tools that are available within our MCP server. So like, you know how if you use an MCP server, you can see all the different tools that are available. This is how it's actually done underneath the hood. And then as we go here, we're going to see a lot of JSON. And if you're wondering why that is, MCP servers use the JSON RPC library underneath the hood for all of its communication. So if we take a look here, we can see it's using JSON RPC 2.0 for the transport layer. And really what that means is the way that the data is structured is via JSON, okay? So scrolling down here, we can see everything from properties to components to clusters, connections, and that's for AWS, or sorry, that's for Kubernetes, right? Now the tool right here, this is for AWS, and then the tool here, this is for GCP. So as we can see, for each tool, we have that JSON RPC schema. All right, now scrolling down here, this is what's going on underneath the hood to have the ability to have these tools actually work, right? So like, even though we see a bunch of JSON here, this is the communication protocol, that doesn't mean that it knows what to do. So how we can tell these tools what to do is by creating some functionality underneath the hood. So in this case, we have a function called getK8sComponent. And this is going to do all the mapping for deployments, stateful sets, jobs, pods, etc. when we're creating those diagrams. And then we can see the same thing here for AWS. It's just doing all the mapping, and then GCP. So now we have a function here called call tool. And this, the handler validates input schemas, calls the function, and then builds a call tool result with the results. What does that mean? It's calling out to the tool, right? So like, if you are using a client, right, like an MCP server client, and you're calling out to that tool, you know, get Kubernetes diagram or AWS diagram or GCP diagram, this is the decorator that's helping with that, okay? And then the functions underneath that decorator are call tool. Notice how we're utilizing the async object here for concurrency within this function. And then we can see the logic for building the Kubernetes diagram under here. And then we can see the same thing for AWS and for GCP. And then at the bottom here, we can see another concurrent function to run the MCP server. And then here's the entry point. Now, one other thing that I do want to point out here is notice how there's this commented block, read the generated image. and then the image content. So this is actually how we're getting the image out, okay? And then we can see that for, I believe this is GCP. We can see that for AWS. And then we see the same thing for Kubernetes, okay? So this is essentially the structure of an MCP server underneath the hood. We're specifying the libraries that are used to create the MCP server. We're specifying maybe some other libraries for some additional functionality. So because this is an MCP server to create architecture diagrams, I'm importing all these diagram libraries for like the icons and all that stuff for the architecture diagrams. And then I'm initializing the MCP server instance. And I have two decorators to list the tools. Because again, if we run against an MCP server, we have to actually see all the tools that are available. Remember, this is all in JSON because that's the communication for the data structure underneath the hood of all MCP servers. We have some functions here to map the types to the deployments, or rather to the diagrams in the architecture diagrams. And then we have the call tool decorator, which is actually saying, okay, we list the tools. That was the decorator prior. And then we have those tools, and then we click on a tool and we ask it to do something for us. That's what this decorator is helping with, okay? So it's calling the tool, and then while it calls the tool, it's doing all this functionality, like actually creating the architecture diagram and then spitting out the architecture diagram for us. Okay, so we have our MCP server, and then the next piece is, how are we actually gonna host this thing? So there are two primary ways. There is SCDIO, which is standard input output. That's almost like a local package in a sense, okay? So it's not actually a like Python or NPM package that you're installing and running locally. It more or less sits in cache. But you are, hosting it on NPM or like PyPy or something, which I'll show you in a second. All right, so that's like the local MCP server. And then you have streamable HTTP MCP servers where, for example, the GitHub MCP server is hosted on an actual server and you call out to it over the HTTP protocol. So in this case, I'm doing a standard input output MCP server. So if I open this up, how to publish here, you'll see here that I install, build, and twine. I build my MCP server package, and then I register and sign up via PyPy, which is a place that you can host Python packages, right? And then I use twine to upload it. So the build command, this is to actually build the code base. That way it's ready to be packaged and pushed up. And then I use twine to actually upload it to PyPy. And we can see that right here. So here's the actual package itself. Now the next piece is, how do I actually use this thing? Well, that's where an MCP client comes into play. Now in this case, you can use MCP Inspector. So heading back over to VS Code here, notice I was testing this already, but I'm gonna run npx because the inspector application is actually an NPM package. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to run that. It's going to open up a browser. All right. And then we're going to see everything in here because, again, I was already testing it. But the gist is, with MCP Inspector, you have your transport type. You'll also see SSE in here, but that was deprecated. So you primarily see SCDIO and streamable HTTP now. And then you have your command. So this is a Python package. So it's utilizing UVX. UV is essentially a Rust-based runtime for Python, so it's a little bit faster. Actually, a lot bit faster, but I've done some testing between like UV and pip, and it depends on the packages, it depends on the applications, it depends on what you're bringing down. But anyway, it's supposed to be a faster version because it's written in Rust. And then you have your arguments here. So I'm calling out to Cloud Native Architecture MCP at latest. And then if I go back to, actually, I'm already in the browser. If I go back to the PyPy package, you can notice this is the name of it. And then this is the current version, but like specifying latest will just pull the latest version for you. All right. And then if I click on connect, notice here we can see list tools. We click on that. Remember, when we click on that, what's helping us with that? Let's open up our source again. 'Cause, 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 What's helping us with that is the list tools here, okay? And then when we actually call upon one of these tools, what's helping us? The call tools decorator. All right, so I can give this a name. I'll say test. I'm going to switch to JSON here, and then I'm going to put in an example. So for the components, I'm just going to copy this, put that in right here. For the clusters, this is just going to be blank. And then we'll go ahead and we'll click Run Tool. And then if we scroll down here, notice we have this little architecture diagram here, which is, you know, this is basic, right? This is just essentially just printing out icons, but this is just the test that the MCP server actually works. All right, I know this was the longest video. Thank you for staying with me, but that's how MCP works underneath the hood when you're building it out. So you're utilizing JS or Python. You're going to build it out via, you know, standard input output or streamable HTTP. You're going to figure out where to host it. If it's streamable HTTP, you're going to put it, you know, on some server somewhere. If it's standard input output, you're going to put it on, you know, NPM package manager or PyPy. And then you can use clients like MCP Inspector to connect to it and confirm that it works.